Hey guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the inside leg to outside rein. We had done a post on that on Tuesday and wanted to give a little bit further explanation on what that means and how you apply the aids correctly and how it affects your riding. So we talked about the inside leg and the outside rein and basically bringing the horse into better balance by using the inside leg and outside rein. But there's a lot more to it than just putting your inside leg on and using your outside rein. So we have to think about the circle of aids. We have our seat, we have both of our legs, we have both of our hands. And so when we're riding inside leg to outside rein, what we're doing is we're going to apply the inside leg to ask the horse to bend his body around the inside leg, which is going to bring the inside hind leg of the horse underneath of themselves better. Then the outside rein is going to catch the energy that's created by the inside leg being applied to the horse. When we do that, we bring the horse into balance. We lift the shoulders up a little bit and allow the horse to become more fluid and move more easily through their body because you increase the range of motion of the shoulders. So essentially what's going to happen is when you're riding the horse, you want the horse to flex to the inside. So a little bit of explanation here. There's a difference between flexion and bend. Flexion is simply turning the horse's head in the direction of travel, so left or right, depending on what you want to do. But you're literally just turning the horse's head at the pole, just like we swivel our head on our necks. We're asking the horse to kind of bend his head in the direction that he's traveling, and you should be able to see the inside eyelashes. When we ask the horse to bend, what we're actually asking them to do is bend from their pole all the way back to their tail. So not just that head bend. So the inside rein is going to control the amount of flexion that the horse has, and it's going to counteract what the outside rein is doing to help the horse balance. So when we're riding, the circle of aids, essentially your seat comes first, legs second, hands are last. So when you're riding the horse, you're going to weight the inside sits bone so that they continue going in the direction that you want them to go. Weight the inside sits bone, and then the inside leg is going to be applied at the girth. At the same time, or slightly after, just a fraction after, the outside hand is going to close and kind of give a little mini half halt, if you will, to kind of capture that energy that you're creating. So you want to think about the inside leg pushing the rib cage into the catcher's mitt on the outside, which is your outside hand. That's going to bend the horse around that inside leg from pole to tail, like we're talking about. The inside rein is important here because that's going to, like I said, counteract what the outside rein is doing and maintain that flexion so that when you close that outside hand, you don't accidentally counterbend the horse. And that way you're able to keep the bend, keep the flexion in the direction that you're traveling. If the horse happens to fall in, because I see this a lot, riders will be riding along, they put their inside leg on, they apply their outside rein, and the horse still tends to kind of fall in. A lot of times what's happening is the horse is actually flexed slightly to the outside, so in essence counterbent. And what you really need to do is you need to lift that horse's inside shoulder up by creating that bend and catching the energy on the outside rein. So again, it's going to be inside leg applied at the girth, outside rein catches the energy. Think like you're going to put your inside leg into your outside hand, and then the outside leg is going to stay slightly behind the girth to prevent the haunches from swinging out. So that's a really brief description of how to do that. Now, when you put it into practice, when you're riding your horse, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to go based on what you're feeling the horse doing underneath of you. If the horse is falling in, for instance, and you've got your inside leg applied and the outside rein is helping, you may have to shift your weight just a hair to the outside sits bone because you may be weighting the inside seat bone a little bit too much. So this is where it's really important as riders that we develop that feel and know kind of what's going on underneath of us, and not be so caught up in the aids that we forget to feel what the horse is doing underneath of us. The horse will tell us what he needs in that moment. The inside leg, if you're asking the inside hind leg to step underneath of you, you actually have to apply the inside leg, your inside leg, when the horse's inside hind leg is lifted, so that the horse can actually move its foot underneath of it. So when you apply that inside leg, you're going to kind of push a little bit against that girth, and the rib cage is going to move out, which is going to create that bend through the whole body from the head to the tail. Again, as I said, we're going to show you some videos of riders at different levels. So we have an introductory level horse and rider, we have a second level horse and rider, and we have a higher level, third level horse that is, he's schooling third level. And he is going to demonstrate that inside leg to outside rein as well. But again, just because we say inside leg to outside rein, we can't forget about the other aids that get applied. And I think that's where some confusion happens for a lot of riders, is they think it's an isolationist situation, and very rarely in dressage do we, if ever, do we isolate just one of the aids. So you do have 5 different aids, 6 different aids. Essentially, you have each sits bone, you have each leg, and you have each hand. And all of that works together to create the movements and the bend and what we want from our horses. So don't think of this as inside leg to outside rein and those are the only 2 aids that are being used. You're actually using your seat first, either by weighting the inside sits bone, slightly more if the horse falls in, maybe a little bit more weight on the outside sits bone. And then you'll see, you know, when these horses are going, you have the inside leg applied at the girth, outside leg is slightly back, inside rein creates a little bit of flexion, outside rein creates the place for them to balance and creates a barrier to prevent them from drifting out too far, so you don't get the blowing through the shoulder on the outside. All of those things work together simultaneously to help the horse develop the balance, the suppleness, and the flexibility to do the things that we're asking. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our videos, and you'll hear me giving the aids to the riders depending on their level, helping them to understand. You'll also hear me saying them repetitiously, and it is mainly because some horses respond better to repeated or pulsated aids, not just a static aid against them. So you may hear me say inside leg, outside rein, or squeeze the outside rein, something to that effect. And that is because a lot of horses respond better to, you know, that pulsating and then allowing them to do their jobs, and kind of us being quiet and sitting there and letting them do what they need to do, giving us feedback from the aids that we gave them, feeling what they're doing, and then applying the aids again based on what they tell us. So each stride can be a little bit different, and a younger horse that's maybe not as balanced may need more half halts, may need more applications of the aid, whereas a horse that's seasoned and knows what they're doing a little bit more maybe can go with a more static, just put the inside leg up against and leave it there with little half halts on the outside rein to assist them in their balance. So again, a lot of this is dependent on you as the rider developing your feel and then figuring out what your horse needs to help them achieve what you're trying to do. So we'll take a look at these videos, and then we'll maybe answer some more questions towards the end. Good, think massaging the head and neck down. So outside rein little squeezes as the inside leg comes on. Inside rein is massaging to bring the head and neck down. Give him a tap both legs if he dies. Good. Good there. Yep. Keep asking him to go there. Good. Little massage. Inside leg. Little outside rein squeeze. Good boy, Mav. Little inside rein massage. Little outside rein squeeze. Inside leg, outside rein. Inside leg, outside rein. Inside leg, outside rein. The inside rein just keeps the flexion and softens. Good. Now, left leg, little squeeze, right hand, inside hand massages. Left hand is massaging his head and neck. There you go. Kind of squeeze and give, outside rein, squeeze and give. Stay on that circle. Close your outside fingers up, please. Thank you. Squeeze and give with the right hand, and then the left hand kind of massages. There you go. Inside leg comes on. Massage inside rein, little squeezes on the outside rein. There you go. Keep the fingers. Yeah, good, good. Yep. And then when you come across the center again, that's where you're going to change direction, not as a diagonal line. Good. Inside leg, outside rein squeezes right after the inside leg comes on. Outside rein squeezes, go straight towards E. Straight towards E. Now change bend. Good. Now right leg comes on. Left rein gentle squeezes on the outside to support him. Inside rein massages and squeezes as well. Good. Inside hand open just a little bit. Keep your eyes up. Good. Push your rib cage into your outside hand. Catch it with the outside hand. There. Good. Good. Push the rib cage out. Catch it with the outside hand. Good. It's okay. Good. So every time the inside leg comes on, a little squeeze on the outside rein. Good. And the inside rein just stays soft and massaging. Good. Inside leg's on, outside rein, gentle squeeze. Good. There. Yep. Good. Little inside massage. Keep a little flexion to the inside. Outside rein squeezes as the inside leg touches. Very well done. And then you can do a change of direction when you're ready. So come towards me and then circle back towards E. New inside leg, new squeezes, outside rein. Kind of massage with this right rein. Circle here. There you go. Good. Yes, inside leg, little outside rein catcher, rib cage. Good. Soften with the inside hand. That's it. Good. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our third level horse. And here you can see he's slightly flexed to the right. And then the inside leg is applied. And then outside leg. And he's going to go ahead and walk off. This horse does love to try and counterbend, especially going to the right. So we're working really hard to teach him. But you can see here when he counterflexes, and I'm really over-exaggerating it here, but when he counterflexes, how his weight falls onto his inside right shoulder. And then when we flex him correctly and we push with the inside leg and push him into the outside rein contact, like here he's fighting a little bit. And then when we get the outside rein contact, you see how his body curves completely around my inside leg. It seems also that he likes to overbend when going to the inside or when bending to the inside. So sometimes he'll overbend or overflex his head to the inside, and you can see then that we want to straighten his head, put his nose kind of in the middle of his chest by applying a little bit more outside rein to keep him from blowing through that outside shoulder as he goes. So here you see he's kind of bent correctly. His nose is in the middle of his chest. His inside eyelashes would be seen if you were sitting on top of him, and the inside leg is pushing him into the outside hand. Now here in the trot, you see he's much better. As we make the turn, he starts to bend nicely around the right leg. We push the rib cage out into the outside hand, and he becomes much more balanced, and he stays much more uphill and more upright when he goes through the turns. And then again, we bend him slightly to the left, leg yield him out. There he counterflexed for a moment. You saw him fall onto that left shoulder. And then we got the bend back, new inside leg, new inside bend, and we push his rib cage out into the outside hand. Again, I counterflex in there. You can see where he kind of falls in. Now we create the correct bend, and you can see how that keeps him a little bit more upright into his turns. Okay, so as you can see from the videos that we showed, that the inside leg to outside rein really helps to create balance in the horse, improve their bend, and get them lifted up over their shoulders. So when we talked about the aids for that, we were discussing how it's not just about your inside leg and your outside rein, but more about balancing all of the aids, but primarily focusing on the inside leg, pushing the rib cage into the outside hand, allowing the horse to bend his entire body from the poll to his tail, and then also pushing that rib cage out into the outside rein, allowing the horse's neck and body to fill up that outside rein so that you can maintain a steady connection and have good effective half halts. Then we also talked a little bit about the flexion of the inside rein, or the flexion that the inside rein creates, rather, that enables the horse to keep his bend to the inside as we do apply those half halts on the outside rein. Again, using all of these in sequence and in the appropriate amounts allows the horse to become better balanced and essentially stand up over all 4 feet in a balanced way so that he can move more efficiently and have a greater range of motion through the shoulders. So hopefully you found this helpful, and if you are interested in getting training tips or more information, please subscribe below, and we will be posting these on a frequent basis to help you with your dressage training. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.